What's up, everybody? Roger and Victoria here, DisKingdom.com, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about the new attractions and stuff coming to SeaWorld. They've announced a brand new attraction called Infinity Falls, which is going to be a brand new river ride, which is going to be coming to the Orlando Resort in the summer of 2018. You're going to climb aboard a raft for the journey of discovery down through this lost jungle river, wind your way around soaking fountains and waterfalls as you pass the remains of an ancient civilization. Hang on as the roaring world-class rapids send you flying through the chutes before you plunge down into the tallest drop of any kind of a churning white water. Your adventure ends in a harmony village with a greater connection to the world rivers, inspired to spread the message of conservations. So that there is the new attraction. So what did you think of that instantly when that kind of news got released?
Well, I was kind of late to the party. I actually found out about it during Star Wars. I was so enthralled in the Star Wars news. I actually kind of found this late, but it reminds me of the recent ride they opened at Typhoon Lagoon in Disney World. But it seems like the theme fits better in SeaWorld, and I haven't never been to SeaWorld actually, so that would draw me in for a new ride.
They're building a new themed area to go along with it. They're also doing a bubble show. They're also rebranding Kraken. They're going to be changing the storyline. They're going to be bringing a virtual reality item into there. Obviously, this is all I think the trouble is the SeaWorld has obviously had a major problem with what happened after Blackfish when that movie came out on.
Yes, I do remember that.
And it totally has changed how SeaWorld is, and generally there's always been, they've got this major problem. So now investing in attractions and stuff is their way of trying to build this company back up and get people coming back to it. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've been to SeaWorld quite a few times. Every time I've been to Orlando, I've been to the other ones, for example, in Brisbane, Australia. And so it is a great attraction. Obviously, the whole thing with what happened with the orcas and, the history of what was going on. And, Blackfish may be slightly exaggerated on some items, but obviously it hit a nerve and it made mainstream things. So them announcing this new attraction and new changes to the things, it kind of makes sense for them to focus more on this than on animals, because I think that's where they are probably best going after. It's less controversial, and they need to get people coming back into the park.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I heard about the orca situation. It did honestly turn me off a little bit. To be honest, I've never really had an interest in going to SeaWorld because I honestly just see it as an aquarium. But with them taking, no longer doing anything with the orcas and focusing more on the ride aspect, it kind of makes me now want to actually go and explore SeaWorld a little bit more, actually.
I mean, personally for me, they have got some major attractions there. You've got Mantis, you've got Kraken, you've got the log flume, and they are major. They are massive, great big roller coasters. So if you're into roller coasters, do it. I must admit, last time I did the Kraken, I was really... The idea of putting a virtual headset on and doing that attraction, I think I would be sick. I remember coming off it last time. I've been on it a few times before, and loved it. I think I was a little bit older the last time I was on it, and I remember getting off it. My wife said, "You're looking a bit green." So the idea of putting a headset on it, because if that virtual reality is just one slight little tad bit off, you are gonna feel the motion sickness. The idea of being in complete it's almost a thing of being blanked off and having this virtual thing. It's gonna be interesting to see. They're obviously trying to push the idea of doing attractions differently, and I think this new water attraction, a new themed area, is good for them. I think, and I always felt with the Shark Tank, I remember being completely thrilled. That was the best Shark Tank I'd ever seen in my life. And I love, then the orca shows, I always had loved them. Obviously, seeing them in the wild is completely different.
Right.
But for me, as someone that's always loved, the sea and all the things there, I always thought it was pretty cool. And the dolphin shows and the walrus show is funny and all these kind of things. But they've been changing it all because they're trying to push over that conservation, because people view zoos very differently than they used to.
That's true. I mean, honestly, before I before I even pictured myself going to SeaWorld, I honestly pictured it the way they did Jurassic World.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know about this, but my personal experience with virtual reality, we have a Six Flags about 45 minutes away from where I live now. They have a Superman ride, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So they vamped it to be a virtual reality ride. So I'm like, okay, I'll try this, and I tried it. And the first time I didn't get sick. Second time I did get sick.
Yeah.
So I would say if you get motion sickness easily, be wary of anything involving virtual reality goggles, because it may cause you distress.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is for me, like things like the Superman attractions, they're scary enough without the virtual reality. I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, it's different if you're on a virtual reality. I always remember like simulated stuff. I mean, I have tried PlayStation VR. The problem for me is with wearing glasses. When I put the second set on, it's not very. I remember I tried out the PSVR last year, and it was all blurry in one side. At which point, then you are just. And I think if I was on that roller coaster, I would want to see when I'm going over that, because you're not only when you're on a simulator, when you're on Star Tours or on the Arctic one, you would always know you're in a tub. You're in that kind of vehicle. Oh, it's not real. I'm just being thrown around a bit. Well, on the roller coaster, you are feeling it.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. It's that weird thing of. I don't know. It's cool. I think it's a good way of them rebranding. I hope it's optional. I hope they don't make everybody do it if you don't want to. The fact that they're adding the bubble show as well, I don't know too much more about that yet, but I do think the new attraction, Infinity Falls, it sounds good. Hopefully it doesn't get you as wet as like the Popeye one over in Universal Island of Adventure.
Oh yes.
I mean, I remember coming off that drenched. And the Cali River rides in Animal Kingdom, every time I went to the park, it was down. Literally,
It's so funny because I've ridden it maybe 3 times max in my life, and I've only ever gotten wet once.
Yeah,
very disappointing.
In 3-4 visits to the park, I've never got on it because it's always been down when I've gone there. But yeah, I do remember. I think it was Bluto's barges. We got drenched. So there's that line between, I think, getting you completely soaked and getting it's the fun side of things. There's that line where it can really, obviously when you're in Orlando, it's a lot easier to dry off and stuff. But
right.
The fact that they got this new attraction and stuff, I think it's good. Obviously, Universal are coming full on blast on their side, so SeaWorld need to up their game, and this looks like a good addition to it. But when you compare just a generic water raft ride to Star Wars lands and Harry Potter things, it just doesn't have that same impact. It's just a generic attraction.
Yeah, I agree as well. It's like as someone that hasn't visited before, it'll draw me in. But if it's someone who's been there before, has experienced before all the changes, it's not really gonna draw anyone in.
No.
I feel.
No, it's hard. I mean, any new attraction's cool, but I think the trouble is nowadays is there's so much emphasis on branding, and the characters can draw you in before you've even got going. That is why we don't tend to see a lot of unbranded attractions built very much anymore for this exact reason.
Yeah, it's like originality. It's a risk now. It really is. So it's like if you're gonna go original, you really have to make sure it's something that's gonna really attract people. It's gonna be fun for all ages, not just people seeking thrill rides too. So it's a risk that you really that not many rides are going for now.
I'm surprised Disney did that with the Miss Adventure Falls, where they actually didn't brand it, something. I was half expecting Typhoon Lagoon just to become Frozen Lagoon or something like that, but you do I was quite surprised that we haven't seen unbranded attractions being built for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're trying to keep their stories original. And try not to build too much on sponsorship, like with how Test Track is and such. So I mean, with the way they're acting nowadays, you would think they would need the branding. But.
Yeah, no. I mean, I definitely think in terms of SeaWorld doing this whole conservation story and stuff, it's just in some ways, I think trying to get away from the images of blackfish is going to be difficult. And sometimes people can see through PR stuff of it's it's about conservation. It's a roller coaster. You're on a day out. You want to just conservation is is a nice story, but you're still on a day out and you want to enjoy it, and you're spending a lot of money. So you should
right.
It's entertaining should come first, but at the same time, entertain with a little in the message is never a bad thing.
I feel like if they take a book from Animal Kingdom's page, they'll be fine, because Animal Kingdom has a very good balance of conservation, but with entertainment and fun as well. So I feel like if they, take a few notes from Animal Kingdom and they can possibly get past the PR of Blackfish, they'll be fine in like a year or two.
It also depends on what happens with Volcano Bay of what that does.
Oh, that's
Because that
right.
might be, again, if you've got some major new water attractions there, that's going to obviously be about a year old by the time this new attraction comes in. But there's a lot of competition now with new attractions and stuff, especially water-based. Though obviously the SeaWorld one isn't an actual water park; it's just a new water raft that you can ride.
Well, I could definitely give you some comparisons because I'll definitely be visiting Volcano Bay next
Yeah.
month. So we'll see from between now and when they open their new rides. We'll
Anyway,
see.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let us know what you guys think of the new Infinity Falls attraction and SeaWorld as a whole. I'd love to know your thoughts on all of this. As per usual, guys, you can check us out on all the different social medias. You can follow us and you can find us on all the different networks and stuff. Where can they find you, Victoria?
They can find me on Twitter at He Calls Me PP and Instagram He Calls Me Pineapple Princess.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. We shall see you guys soon. Later.
Bye, guys.